It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go! Friday show, September 22nd, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com. If you're watching live, if you're watching on YouTube, we say hello to you in YouTube land. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon. Good to be with you as well as Maz. But did I see a Coney Island truck out there?
Oh, man, a national Coney Island outside of Dispo.
Are we getting some on the show? Is that part of the deal today?
Look, it is the cannabis mall unlike anything you will ever see in your life here at Dispo, 32 Mile Road in Romeo. We are here. It is one of our favorite places to be, especially on a Friday because of all the activity that happens here. It is second to none. We appreciate the partnership, Dispo and Woodward Sports.
Oh, yeah, man, it's lights out. You have a DJ that plays it. DJ's over there doing this thing, and music is going. You got the vibes going. You got ladies coming in, guys hanging out, trying to, get their little flower for the weekend, their oil, their edibles. You got ice cream outside. Today, you have Coney Island, man. So it's always something going on at Dispo.
Tom Mazaway looking for a little bit of flower as well. Not the kind that come out of the bouquet, though. Hey there, Tom. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. I got here early enough to get myself some
Coney
National
Islands.
Coney Island, man, and it was great.
Yeah?
Handed me 2 Conies. Couldn't be more perfect. They didn't even fall out of the bun themselves. That's how perfect
There he
they
is
were.
right there. Are we getting Coney Island?
Delicious.
Oh, man, we got to get
right
that
there.
Coney today for sure. No
Hey,
doubt
happy
about
Friday to everybody.
it. Absolutely. Happy Friday. And potentially happy Friday for the Detroit Lions. First and foremost, get you caught up on some of the injuries, some of the injury news that we got today. First and foremost, I think this is the biggest deal of the Dan Campbell press conference today. Dan Campbell said that Amon-Ra St. Brown practiced yesterday. He looked good. He felt good today. That thing is definitely trending in the right direction. It appears, anyway, that he will play on Sunday. To me, that is the one Lion outside of Jared Goff that this team can ill afford to lose. He's got to be on the field, in my opinion, and it sounds like Braylon Edwards, he's going to be on the field on Sunday. Very important for this football team.
All signs pointing that he will be on the field on Sunday, and that's good for the Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he is that guy. He is the guy that has formulated that relationship with Jared Goff over the 3 years, becoming the relationship, one of the best in the NFL. But like I told you guys, he's a young guy. He's hungry to play, and I think that thing will be okay. It will allow him to play. Sometimes Big tells you, look, you want to be safe, you want to be on the cautious side. But that guy's ready to rock and roll, man. You said it yourself. You see his father, you see his brother. Those guys have been working. Their bodies are like steel, man. They're chiseled and they're ready to rock and roll.
And for Amon-Ra, look, I mean, he's the guy without J-Mo out there right now, Maz. I mean, he's the guy that all things run through. And for as good as we've been talking about Josh Reynolds plays a role. Yeah. Josh Reynolds is a number 2 or 3 receiver. Now, coming into the season, I think they pegged him for a number 3 wide receiver with Marvin Jones as the 2, but he has elevated by his play to number 2 status, I believe. But it's different being a number 2 and having to play a game against CB1 as opposed to CB2 for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Look, at the end, we appreciate all that Josh Reynolds is doing. He's had a hell of a year so far. He's been the guy for Jared Goff going into the season, but at the end of the day, he still is a 3, Ryan. Mm-hmm. He's still a 3. At some point, it's going to find its level, whether CB1 wants to look at him as a 1, and now he has to man up on the best DB, or whether it's the second DB, or whether the defense is actually now looking at him and they come up with a scheme for him. So it's going to get tougher. The sledding is going to get tougher, and that's why you need guys like Khalif Raymond to step up this week. That's why you need guys like Marvin Jones Sr. Don't know where he's been, don't know what's going on, but if that guy is healthy, if he can play, now is the time to step up. That's why we brought you back.
What I love today is I saw Jamison Williams put a tweet out.
Yep.
And he said, Detroit, soon, with an arrow pointing to that way. So I'm looking forward to seeing the forgotten man in Jamison Williams pretty soon.
I believe he can rejoin the team after this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe after
Week 4.
Sunday he
Yep.
can rejoin the team and start practicing. Obviously, he can't play, but he can get back into the facility and start working out with the team and practicing with the team. And then, obviously, you'll have to sit out a couple more weeks. But nonetheless, that would be a big get for the Detroit Lions to kind of get through these 6 games here and get J-Mo back on the field. Let me tell you that Woodward Sports has expanded its daily lineup. Booter and Broder, 8 to 10 for Woodward Nights. The hottest takes. 2 young up-and-coming guys delivering some nighttime content weekdays, 8 to 10. Booter and Broder right here on WSN's YouTube channel. I want to shout out JB as well and Parker, part of the team here. Brady is with us as well, part of the sales team with Woodward Sports, and we appreciate all their efforts as well.
Yeah, Brady, get my package, man. Make sure my package is on the way. No, I'm just joking. But the real thing about it, you know why that's good news? Hush it up over there. You know why that's good news? It's good news that now J-Mo can join the team. When you get suspended, now I've never been suspended, but I've had teammates that have been suspended. It's an alienation, Ryan Ermanni. You can't come around the team. You can't be around the players. You can't come around the facility. You can't get the install. So when you get the install and you go over with the team, you can't do that. You can't be around the facility. You just don't have that energy. You don't feel like you're part of the team. Yes, you're working out. Yes, you're reading the game plan or the playbook that you took from training camp. You're doing those things, but you don't feel like part of the team. So it's that oh man, it's that depression. It's that cloud over you. Now that he's back, he can be a part of the team starting next week. That's going to be a good feeling to him, getting him ready to go when he comes back in 7 weeks.
Finish off on some of the injury news that Dan Campbell let us in on today. He said Hal Vaitai and Emmanuel Mosley most likely out. Those two, he was almost a surefire out for Vaitai and Emmanuel Mosley. Said everybody else is moving in the right direction. Doesn't mean that they're going to be on the field. And maybe they probably won't be on the field, but at least their injuries are moving in the right direction. That was talking about David Montgomery, Taylor Decker, and Kirby Joseph. So status for them still up in the air. Nonetheless, their injuries are improving. And I think look, if these 3 players have to sit out this week, in order to play on Thursday at Green Bay, we've been talking about that aspect of it all week. I think that's almost necessary. If they're not going to be able to play 2 football games in 4 days, let them sit this week, get through, try to steal one against Atlanta, and then play one in Green Bay against the Packers. It looks like, and again, nothing confirmed, but Monty, Decker, and Joseph all improving, but may not play this week.
I mean, the good thing is, look, Henry Ford Hospital is the greatest health system in the country. That's me. I was born in Henry Ford, so I'm cheering for it right now. But, look, you have a great health system. You have a great coach who understands, and he's very honest with himself and his players. So if they need to sit out, then they'll sit out. They'll come back on this upcoming Thursday. If they can play, then they're going to play. The good thing about it, Ryan Ermanni, is we talked about it. We talked about the depth. Talked about the depth on this team. We also talked about the team that they're going to play this week, and that's the Atlanta Falcons. If there was a time to rest these guys, it would be against these Atlanta Falcons. It's going to be a tough game, but hey, you got 14 more after this one.
I mean,
did you take a gummy?
Did you take a gummy?
Did you take a gummy?
Trying to get you involved here.
Did you take a gummy?
I didn't take a gummy, but I've been thinking about taking one. But this was my reaction.
How about that game last night?
Just trying to get you involved here.
I got you,
Never
brother.
mind,
I got you.
Never mind. It's all
great.
good.
Hey, all good.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson, more injury news, and then we'll get into the thick of things. C.J. Gardner-Johnson posted on Instagram. It was a 2-minute kind of piece. We cannot play it for you because of the music that's on it and, of course, licensing and all that stuff. But basically, Bray, he expects to be back. He says, I'll be back. Just got to go lay down a couple of months. And if you can get this guy back, hell, even in December, in January, maybe towards the end of the year for a playoff push here, for a Super Bowl push, why not? We'll see what happens. That would be good if they can get this guy back. By all accounts, it was a clean injury, surgery, and got to recover now.
Let's just start with the secondary. If I'm the secondary after hearing this news about CJ, GJ, you're talking about This guy will be back if you make it. If you put yourselves in a position for the Detroit Lions to make the playoffs, hey, I'm coming back. I'm going to be there to give you all that I have. You know what that tells me? Tracy Walker's got to step up. Cam Sutton's got to step up. When Emmanuel Mosley comes back, he has to step up. Jerry Jacobs definitely needs to step up. Brian Branch, you know what? I know you're young. It's time to step up. We talked about the depth of this team. We talked about how they're coached by Aaron Glenn. He's also going to be on display. If he has to sit out if he has to lay down, as he said, to get back for that injury, I'm telling you, if you can put yourself in a position that when he comes back, that's the name of the game. And this is that type of team. We talked about we're no longer the same old Lions. This is an elite type of team, we believe. Well, now it's time to go out there and be elite. Get some wins, steal some wins in the phrase of us lately. Steal some wins, but put yourself in a position so that when he comes back, one of your leaders, he's right back where he started.
Did you see he showed you his arm? He's got like this big divot in his arm. He's like, I played the whole game like this. I had no arm. And to think about it, they didn't really know how badly injured he was until the Monday after the game. And it was amazing that he played the way he did after that injury, which is a bad injury. As Braylon said, man, you tear a pec, man. That's something.
Yeah, you're sitting there playing with one arm, and this is a league where now guys are faster, they're more physical, they're stronger. Like, you see how these guys are. To be able to play like that in a game tells you where his heart is. It tells you where his energy is. It tells you where his loyalty is. It's to the Detroit Lions. Now it's time for that secondary in his absence to be loyal to him.
No doubt about it, guys. Thursday Night Football happened last night, and I almost want to correlate it to the Detroit Lions this week moving forward. What was the biggest storyline heading into last night's game?
No Saquon Barkley?
No Saquon Barkley, which means what? Big game for Daniel Jones.
Yep.
This is why you paid Daniel Jones $45 million. What's the biggest story today?
He's 1-11 now in primetime games.
Do you regret paying Daniel Jones $45 million?
No, he doesn't have many weapons.
I understand that. But the amount of money you make as a quarterback really sets the tone for the conversation moving forward. That's just whether it's right or wrong, and it's no different from Josh Allen not having a running back or a good offensive coordinator. The amount of money you make as a quarterback is a direct correlation to how we talk about you as a quarterback. Yesterday, this is why you paid Daniel Jones $45 million. Today, do you regret paying Daniel Jones $45 million? So I look at this game for Jared Goff. You might have two starting offensive linemen out. You might have your running back out.
You do.
Your wide receiver is maybe hobbled in Amon-Ra St. Brown. The other guy's suspended. You don't have anybody in the defensive backfield. You've got all those guys hurt. This is a Jared Goff game. Put this game next year with a new contract for Jared Goff, and this is that game that Daniel Jones played last night. Can you go out there and win me a football game? Jared Goff, $32 million, no big deal. Jared Goff, $45 million, we're talking a completely different game. This feels like that to me. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If this game is played next year with a contract extension, we are talking about nothing other than Jared Goff winning this football game.
I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm going to get to Jared Goff in a second just to get back to Daniel Jones and playing that game. Yes, I want my money back. Yes, I'm mad that this is a quarterback market where that's the going rate, and I had to pay that guy. That's what the market is. You got to pay Daniel Jones. If you don't, what do? So now you pay him this money. He's now 1-11 on primetime TV. Man, say he doesn't have any weapons. I understand that. You paid him $45 million. You got to go to find a win. He's in year 6, man.
They couldn't protect him.
Okay, man. He's in year 6. We're saying the same. No one will give Justin Fields any credit or any more rope, and he's only in year 3. Daniel Jones is in year 6. It's time to be honest. Daniel Jones isn't the quarterback that's going to get that job done.
I don't even think that's disputable, Braylon.
It's not, but I'm telling Maz that because I was basically agreeing with you.
Yeah.
With the Jared Goff situation.
Well, don't forget what he made, and then you compare it to the guy Brock Purdy, who's 8-0. And he makes $900,000 a year. It's amazing. 8-0 that kid is.
In the regular season.
And
really, I don't even think you can tag him for a loss in the playoff game.
He's
never lost in the NFL.
And they've won 13 straight games, by the way, in the regular season.
Last night made 9, but to make your point about Jared Goff, That's real business.
How big of a game? Let me take a break here. Let's continue on. How big of a game do you feel like this is for Jared Goff moving forward? We'll talk about that next. Doc Macaroon, publisher of All Lions on SI.com, on Twitter at Detroit Podcast, will join us coming up in about 15 minutes from now. We are live from Dispo in Romeo, but first a message from Mark White.
All right, guys, when buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That's exactly what Mark White and Associates offer. It's called the minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. You can do that. If you can do it, visit markwhitesells.com or call them at 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
You know what time it is. Your local plug, that is Dispo, now open until midnight in Romeo, and that's where we are. This is our family up here, so this is what we do. The best place to consume all the best cannabis, the best ways. Edibles, we got it. Flour, we got it. Oils, we got it. Dispo does it right. Remember, 21 and up, recreation only, but outside of that, man, come on. Let's go. Let's start the journey. Let's get right.
And the Dispo family is proud to give huge props to Paradigm with the release of his new album. It's called Period, and it's the first album in 12 years. Go check it out on all platforms. Brought to you by Mellow Music Group. Sean and Darren Davish, very excited and proud of Paradigm, and of course we are here too at Woodward Sports. Talking a little NFL football, big game for Jared Goff, and I kind of look at the game last night between San Francisco and the New York Jets with Saquon Barkley out and all the injuries that the Giants were faced with. And one of the biggest stories yesterday was, can Daniel Jones go win that game by himself? This is why you paid Daniel Jones $45 million to go out there and perform in that game. Biggest story today, did you make a mistake paying Daniel Jones all that money? And I kind of correlate it back to the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff, because you are going to be in a similar situation perhaps next year in a contract year for Jared Goff. And look, this thing will play out for sure. This thing will absolutely play out the way it's supposed to. But if this game is played next year, this Lions-Falcons game, with two offensive linemen out, the running back out, the wide receiver who's hobbled perhaps, you've got another wide receiver, one of your more elite, talented players on suspension. The defensive backfield is a mess right now. Can Jared Goff go win you that game? And I think, Braylon Edwards, this is one of those games where we'll learn a lot about the Detroit Lions this week too, especially Jared Goff. If we need to learn anything more, we're going to learn a lot about Jared Goff.
Yeah, I agree. And I actually think that year is now. I don't think it'll be next year, because I think you're going to either extend the guy after this season or he's just not going to be your guy. So this game right now is going to be that Jared Goff game that he's going to have. And you're absolutely right. If you tell me he's a guy that deserves $45 million, $47 million, and Ryan, you got to think about it like this. It's going to go up next year, which means he's going to be at 47.
Yesterday's price ain't today's price.
100%. So that's now $47 million. It's $48 million. If you can't go out against the Atlanta Falcons, and by no means, the Atlanta Falcons are 2-0. They've won both home games. They've done what they're supposed to be. Now, with that said, if you can't go out with a couple players missing, where you still have most of your offensive line intact, you still have Jahmyr Gibbs, you still have Amon-Ra St. Brown, you still have Sam Laporte, you still have more than enough weapons on that team. If you can't go out there and get it done against the Atlanta Falcons at home after losing to the Seattle Seahawks, then you're showing me I don't need to wait till the rest of the season. I don't need to wait till next year to find out if you're that guy. If he can't go out there and have an efficient game to where the game's not his fault, then what are we waiting until next year to really find out? It's not like they're going against the Kansas City Chiefs at full power on this Sunday. It's not like they're going after the Dallas Cowboys, sorry about Trayvon Diggs' injury, with Trayvon Diggs this week. They're going against the Atlanta Falcons, who have won 2 games at home against decent opponents. If he can't get it done this week, I don't know what we need to wait for.
Listen, man, I'm not worried about next year. I just want to win this game. Win this freaking game, and then worry about Lambeau on Thursday. The Thursday games we all know they're horrible. The teams could hardly rebound from the Sunday games. And every single Thursday game, you barely get a good one. They got to win this game, and I believe that Sam Laporta is going to have a huge game. Remember last year when they were down some players? Who had a big game? It was T.J. Hawkinson, right? And he went out and made himself some money. You said it, Rye. This is a money game for Jared Goff, and his rookie tight end is going to be the main cog here. I guarantee you this.
And make no mistake about it, outside of one pass last week, I thought he played a really good game. Yeah. And I don't think Jared Goff was the problem last week, and I don't think he's been the problem for this football team moving forward. But I do think offensively this is where they're going to have to get back on track. Defensively, this is an offensive league. Teams that score, I think 8 teams scored in the 30s last week in one football game. You've got to score in the 30s in this league, it feels like, to win. San Francisco scored in the 30s last night and won. It's almost like you have to get to a number, right? I mean, I think the Lions were the only team to score 30 and lose. I'm not even going to count Denver because Denver on that 60-yard Hail Mary got to 33. But nonetheless, I guess you could count it as whatever. But I'll make my point here and say that the Lions were the only team to score 30 or more points and lose last week. So that's something to keep an eye on this week. But offensively, this is a big game for these guys.
No, it isn't. We're not saying Jared Goff had a bad week, so let's clear this up.
Yeah.
We didn't say Jared Goff had a bad game, and now he's under the microscope.
I'm just correlating it to last night's game.
True, and also it's being honest. Like, you know, if you got a quarterback that you trust, you're not going to talk about what guys didn't play as to why you lost the game. Like, if Aaron Rodgers had a couple missing receivers in Green Bay, nobody gives him an excuse he had missing receivers. If you're a guy that we're going to pay that money to, then you just got to be a guy to go out there and do it. With that said, he's played pretty good. When the throws have been there, he's made the throws. I even saw him get rid of the ball a couple of times early on in the Kansas City game. I thought that was an improvement from last year. So I've seen a better Jared Goff. It's just about what is the offensive line going to do in the absence of Taylor Decker? How are they going to do it? So if they give him some time, he has been prone to pick guys apart. I just want to see him I just want to see Jared Goff make that 1 or 2 plays where you're like, that was Jared Goff. Like, that's what I'm looking for. Like, in a game like this, no Taylor Decker, couple guys banged up. I want to see Jared Goff make a play where it's the Jared Goff play. Like, he, dodged a tackle and he extended the play, or he did something smart. He changed. I want to see Jared Goff have that play in the game where it wasn't the great design, it wasn't blocked up well, it wasn't picked up, or it wasn't handed up. It was a Jared Goff play.
Do you think the Atlanta Falcons will score 30 points this game?
No.
The Lions are going to win.
Well, I am moving more towards that over the last 24 hours. I am moving more out of the panic mode, and I almost feel not only panic mode, I'm moving into the camp of easy game mode. Yeah. This might be an easy one.
I don't know about that, but I think they'll win comfortably. One. I do believe they will dominate this game.
I'm not saying it's going to be an easy one, but to me, I'm 44 years old. I always say I'm closer to 40 than I am 50. And so it's kind of like the line. I think doesn't mean I'm 40. Just means I'm closer to 40 than I am to 50.
What game?
I'm not saying this is going to be an easy game.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I almost feel like this is closer to being an easy game than a hard game.
Well, Vegas is basically calling it even.
I don't give a shit about what Vegas does. Pardon my language.
Sorry.
What was that game last year? I believe it was the Washington Commanders game against the Lions. And we said that was the first time we saw the Lions play a complete game in maybe forever.
That was the Hutchinson game.
I want to see I think he had 3 sacks that game, right? He had all the sacks in that game. I want to see a complete game. Like, that's what I want to see on Detroit Lions. I understand there's some injuries.
A lot of injuries.
Understood, but I still can see a complete game. I'm not saying a perfect game, man. I want to see a complete game out of these guys. I think it's time for them to put one together. I know it's game 3, but I want to see a complete game.
Hey, man, they were in that game the whole way last week against a playoff team. That's a good team, well-coached team. They could have won that game. They could be easily 2-0 right now and on their way to Ryan Ermanni numbers. But
you know,
it is what it is.
You know what my only problem with that statement is, Maz, is we used to say that about the Lions all the time. And we said this was no longer the same old Lions.
Right.
And I understand. You're absolutely correct. But what did we used to always say? Even last year, it was like, damn, they were right there. Damn, they all. What did my dad say? CP.
There he is.
Detroit Lions, another exciting loss. Yeah. And so that's why when I hear that, I understand you're right. There were some injuries and some things at play. But damn, haven't we been saying that for the last couple of years? I don't want to be able to say that anymore.
Well, that's where this is also feels like one of those kind of narrative games too. In that, is this thing really different, or is this thing the same as it's always been over the last 60 years? Is this thing different, or is it the same? Because if it's different, the Lions are going to go out there, going to take care of business, and they're going to win.
Agreed.
And they may even win handily.
Agreed.
But even if they win a close game, at least they won a close game.
If they lose, we're right back at square one.
I think you're exactly right about that, Braylon. I think this is important to Jared Goff, and I think this is an important narrative game for the franchise as well.
It's a home game.
And it's a
home game.
It's a home game against an NFC opponent. That, let's be honest, not too many people were expecting to.
No. But they were looking at about 7 wins. Atlanta, 7 wins, 8 wins at max. And the Lions were looked at 9.5 wins. So they should win this game.
Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, let's talk to. Sorry, I got my papers mixed up here. We're going to talk to Doc Macaroon, publisher of All Lions, SI.com. Excited to talk to him about this game on Sunday against the Falcons. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Oh, I got Planet Fitness today. I hate when we do these things. Check this out. Planet Fitness is the home of the no judgment free zone, which means anybody can come, get a workout in, and you don't have to worry about people judging you and people waiting for you, looking at you. Nobody's going to worry about you. You don't worry about anybody else. At Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean. I'm talking about squeaky clean, shiny clean, almost like Mr. Clean. And also, it is still only $10 to join. That is the best part about it. Come on down. It's judgment free. Have a good time. Planet Fitness.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey guys, I know you want to play golf like a celebrity, and thanks to Randy Wise, you can do that. It's the Randy Wise Automotive Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice. Pay attention to Woodward Sports right here for more of the details.
Broadcasting to you live from Dispo in Romeo, a mall unlike anything you have ever seen before in your life. I don't even know if there's anything remotely close to an operation like this anywhere in North America.
Nah, man, this is a smokers or a hype or a hippie or, Viber, however you want to associate it. This is where people can come enjoy yourself. It's dope, though, man. They got the plants, got the vibes, they got the different stores For each brand, you go inside. They got the jars of different flour that you can see. They got many different type of edibles, and also they have oils. So if you come in here, you don't want to smoke any, but you heard that it may relieve a little soreness in your lower back. Come here and put a little oil in that thing, man.
Check that out for sure. All right, guys, let's get to the phone lines now. Bring in the great John Doc Macaroon, publisher of All Lions on SI.com. You can follow him on Twitter at Detroit Podcast. Doc, it's so good to talk to you, my friend. How you doing on a Friday?
Man, judging by things, I probably need to hit up the dispo after this week. After a Lions loss, things have been crazy online. The fans have been at a certain level of anxiety after losing to the Seahawks.
Hey, Doc, let me just ask you point blank. This feels like I hate to say must-win game this early, but it feels like a freaking must-win game this early. How do you characterize it?
Absolutely. Look, I understand that the Lions have shown that they can come back in the second half of the year, but to give the fans confidence that this football team can start off strong. Remember, a 1-6 start last year really derailed their season, and it put the Lions in a hole. This year, similar type things, mistakes, executing at a level that's not conducive to winning football games. Jared Goff having a miscommunication and a pick six, all the turnovers, a key decision by Dan Campbell that's being examined. Those are all very similar things to last year, and I thought that this year it would have been a point of emphasis that this football team win early, and the way in which they performed against the Seahawks put a lot of people on notice too, like, wait a minute, this football team does have some warts and has some things that they have to correct. Otherwise, this stretch of games could be very challenging to get a W.
Doc, good to talk to you. I haven't talked to you in a while. And let's talk about those things that may concern the teams getting ready to get into this stretch. What concerns you most about the Detroit Lions going into this Sunday?
Yeah, obviously it's the interior of the defensive line. You look at it, and I know the eyes and everybody's focused on Aiden Hutchinson and his sack total, but there's more to it than just sacks. He's definitely pressuring the quarterback, drawing the attention of the opponent's offensive line. The problem is nobody next to him is doing anything worthwhile to help him out. So everybody is critiquing Aiden Hutchinson. The interior of the defensive line has not generated a pass rush good enough to help the Detroit Lions defense. So I do think there's going to be some changes, maybe even Isaiah Buggs getting an opportunity. Benito Jones got an opportunity, but I just don't think that it was enough to really get the job done. So the defense, which is supposed to be revamped, obviously didn't do enough against the Seahawks, and the Seahawks obviously took advantage with the wide receivers and really taking advantage of the soft cushion that the Lions defense presented. So the defense right now has a lot to prove, especially after that performance last week.
I'm glad you went there, Doc. I just want to ask you one last question. It's about the defensive line. It's about Aiden Hutchinson. I understand it. They line him up all the time at the same side, and I know he's not a Micah Parsons guy where he plays all over the place, but is that something that Aaron Glenn can change? Is it somewhere he can rotate the line, spin them around, do some different stunts? Because it seems like they line up in the same place all the time, and Aiden is a guy. You need to start moving him around in my estimation. Is that something that Aaron Glenn can do?
Yeah, absolutely. The scheme is something that needs to evolve. You said it, the stunts, the blitzes from different locations. But here's the issue. When there's communication breakdowns between the secondary and the defensive line, Aiden Hutchinson mentioned it in the locker room that the Lions right now defensively are not playing complementary football, meaning that if the defensive line handles their assignments, there's a breakdown in the secondary. Or if the secondary has an issue, the defensive line also has an issue. So the working together relationship between the defensive line and secondary, the communication was focused on heavily this week. And absolutely, Aiden Hutchinson needs to be moved around a little bit more. But right now, they're obviously trying to establish what he's comfortable with. And I think the issue is the talent next to him needs to also step up, and the injury to James Houston really, really puts the defensive line in a bind, as well as the injury to Josh Paschal, because it limits what Aiden Hutchinson can do, because he's getting all the attention, but the others also have to step up and have a lot better game, namely John Kaminsky and Ali McNeil.
John Kaminsky going against his old Atlanta Falcons team there, Doc. So I wanted to ask you, I've been watching football a long time, man, but I've never seen a game where more key players were injured for a team, and the Lions now have to go forward basically without 5 starters, and they were already down Josh Paschal, and Jamison Williams is another story. What do you think they can do? Do you think they can overcome this? It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing to start the season with.
It is. It's very unfortunate when you look at it, especially in that game. C.J. Gardner-Johnson goes down for a little bit for a spell. He returns heroically with a torn pec. Kirby Joseph in and out of the game as well. And look, you realize, too, that the Seahawks and Falcons, they're just as physical as the Lions. And unfortunately, the Lions took the brunt end of it. And it is tough because you look at losing Taylor Decker, the impact that he had, now forcing Penei Sewell over to the left side. Now, he did okay, but at the same time, you expose some weaknesses on the right side. And so I look at it and I say the Lions have more depth. They do have experienced players. If Kirby Joseph indeed does not play, you probably will see Ifeatu Melifonwu or Will Harris get experience there. Tracy Walker is going to step in for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You have more depth. Unfortunately, if those players that are stepping in were good enough, they would be the starters. So it is concerning coming into this game and this stretch where you're playing the Falcons at home, second game in a row in front of the fans at Ford Field, and they're a physical football team that can bring it. And then you're going on the road on short notice and short rest to play the Green Bay Packers on Thursday. So the injury situation has caught up with them. But if you look at it in terms of silver linings, you'd rather have it start now than to have injuries later in the year. You just hope that those that are understanding the system and our backups come in and contribute at a similar level than those that are out.
Hey, let's talk just on the offensive side. Marvin Jones, we really didn't see much out of him in the first two games. Last week, he didn't even get any attempts thrown his way. Josh Reynolds has stepped up, and the running backs, they're kind of thin there too. What are we going to look for this week in the backfield, and what do you think about what's going to happen with the wide receivers?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, everybody's talking about it, and I expect it too. Jahmyr Gibbs has to be utilized. The Lions have to take advantage of this Ferrari that they have in the backfield. You drafted him number 12 overall, and to see the disparity between his touches and carries versus Bijan Robinson, I think that the Detroit Lions, it would behoove them to try and do as much as they can to get Jahmyr Gibbs involved in the offense and utilize the weapons that you have. Look, Maz, you can see the lineup and you see the strengths, and outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, it tails off a little bit. Yes, Josh Reynolds is a safety valve and a reliable veteran that has a connection with Jared Goff, but you're not going to want to rely on him. You're going to want to rely on Sam Laporta, who's coming on and emerging. You want to rely on Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I think that obviously I think it's a similar game plan. You're going to want to run the football. You're going to mix in Craig Reynolds here and there, but you're going to need to expose and get Jahmyr Gibbs some explosives. You're going to need to take some shots deep and open up a little bit of the doubt in the Falcons defense, whether you're going to pass or run. But I do think it's a similar game plan, but I think the opportunity for more explosives is there if you feature Jahmyr Gibbs. You have to. This fan base is clamoring for it, and I think he can do it. This is a marquee game for the rookie that you picked and utilized a number 12 overall pick on.
Hey, Doc, just to expound on that, do you buy into the theory of, even though these two guys will never be on the field at the same time together, a little, hey, Bijan and Jahmyr, for Bijan Robinson, he was the second running back taken, not the first running back taken. So he wants to show his worth. For Jahmyr Gibbs, hey, I want to show this guy why I was the number one running back taken. Do you buy into the narrative of these guys taking this one a little bit more personal than just another game?
Absolutely. True competitors are going to circle this game. For Bijan Robinson, that's what makes me concerned, is he's going to circle this game knowing that he was there at number 6 and the Detroit Lions decided to trade down. And so look at Bijan Robinson. He's the total package. Look what he's done. And I know that, young rookies, it takes time for them to acclimate in Ben Johnson's system. But I do think both of these athletes are going to go out there looking to top each other and perform at a high level. This is a referendum game for Brad Holmes, because if Jahmyr Gibbs has a dud, drops passes, isn't the guy that can run through the tackles effectively, then everybody's going to start to look at the roster construction, because many people are saying it. Maybe it's under the radar, but it's starting to be talked about. Maybe the Lions could have kept Swift and targeted the defense, knowing that Swift was entering a contract year. He was going to be motivated to ball out. You could have invested along the defensive line, and you're starting to see Jalen Carter, a 3 technique. They don't grow on trees, and the Lions obviously have a weakness along the interior of the defensive line. So if Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't ball out, the question marks and the discussion about Brad Holmes' roster construction is going to grow.
Hey, Doc, please don't say what you just said last, because if you say, me and Maz, we would be in our misery together.
Swift.
Because you know what I'm talking about.
Swiftly.
I'm Jalen Carter all the way, and he was there. DeAndre Swift, don't get rid of him. So please don't do that again. No, but, Doc, in all honesty, we were just talking before we got you on the show. We were talking about the brand new Lions versus the same old Lions. And my thing is this. Last week, the rhetoric behind it is, well, the Lions had some injuries and they almost won that game. That sounds eerily familiar to same old Lions. Now, I don't believe they are, but it sounds familiar. If they lose this home game against the Seattle Seahawks after they just lost their home game, if they lose to the Falcons this week after they just lost to the Seahawks at home, does it now become an interest where maybe this is still the same old Lions? Or am I reaching?
No, look, everybody's going to have SOL in the back of their mind because of the history. This is not the same old Lions. Okay. And here's why. You look at this football team, and despite everything that happened, they were in that football game. They shot themselves in the foot with key turnovers, giving the opponent 6 points. I look at this year, and this is what we've all been clamoring for, looking at the details of a game. The Lions have enough talent to march into any single football game and win it. But they do have to advance in terms of execution late in the game. Guys, despite everything that happened, despite Seattle punching them in the mouth early in the game offensively, you had the football late in the game. And this is where we can break down the intricacies of the game. Despite everything that happened, you had the football with 1:50 left on the clock, and you decided to play this passive approach that ended up costing you. So in this situation, once the roster elevates and gets better this year, once Dan Campbell finally or effectively utilizes clock management, this football team can win and play at a high level. It's not the same old Lions in that I do think that once these early issues start to correct themselves, Jameson Williams is going to come back. You're going to have increased talent. You do have the makings of a football team that can win a lot of games. You just have to go out there and clean up the early messes.
Hey, Doc, speaking of Dan Campbell, what are your thoughts on him? Has he grown as a coach when it comes to clock management, when it comes to these fourth down plays that he goes on, no matter where the hell on the field he is? I mean, think about the first game. He fakes that punt. They make that first down, and they go down and basically win the game because of that. But if he don't make it, what are we saying about Dan Campbell? I just want to get your opinion on him right now as a head coach.
No, you look at Dan Campbell and the way things are schemed, the way he's able to express himself regarding the X and O's, they're there fundamentally. He is fully aware of the knowledge of the game, the intricacies of the game. Now we're getting into the deep philosophical approach that he takes. I love the fourth down calls that he makes are correct analytically, and he's evaluating that every single week. The issue at hand, the philosophical point is not the fourth down calls. It's the philosophy of I want to score a touchdown versus balancing not giving the ball back to the opponent. I'm of the opinion that philosophically is incorrect. I wrote about it at All Lions.
Yep.
Philosophically, score the touchdown and worry about the defense later.
Yes.
There's and this is where he falls back into old school thinking. Like all these NFL coaches try to overthink things. They go, I want to try to score, call the plays, and run the clock down. In the end, what should have happened is the Lions should have used that high-powered offense. They just had come back. They should have went for the touchdown. And if the Seahawks have 44 seconds left and they go down the field and they march down on your defense with that much pressure and score a touchdown trailing by 4, then now you know your defense isn't good enough. So I look at it like philosophically, you need to score the points, go for the touchdown instead of this approach of milking the clock as well, because that in the end cost you.
Yeah, Doc, I agree with you. And I don't even this is just a question. I think this is just 100% agreeing with you. We're talking about Dan Campbell trying to take that next level step so that he can become one of the better coaches in the league and becoming a great coach. Because right now, great coaches, everything that happened in that game, you hit the nail on the head. With everything that happened in that game, with every injury that happened in that game, with every turnover that happened in that game, they had the ball the minute and 59 seconds. And great coaches find ways to win the games and cover up the things of the other players. So I agree with you 100%. We're going to keep testing Dan and see where he's at. And I think there's no better test than Arthur Smith this week in the Atlanta Falcons.
All right, Doc, let me ask you this question, okay? We asked it yesterday. I'm going to ask you today, and this will be it. Is it A, B, or C? Okay, the question is, 1 week from today, when we're talking about the Detroit Lions, are they A, 3-1, B, 2-2, or C, 1-3? What say you? 7 days from today.
7 days from today, the Lions will be 2-2. I do think that this is their 2-2. The opportunity will be there this week to win. I think that the home crowd is going to bring it again, and I think that short notice game makes things super tough. I just think that playing the Packers with short notice, if they had full rest, I think they have an opportunity to go out to Green Bay and win. I think it's going to be tougher, but I do think this game against Atlanta has the makings of a game the Lions win. Everybody's down on them. Everybody thinks they're down and out. This is one of those games where they can play to their strengths, and all they need is really to clean up some mistakes and to improve and just get 1 or 2 turnovers on defense, a couple extra possessions. I do think that this game against the Falcons is going to be a real fun game in the fourth quarter, but I think it's a game the Lions can win. If they don't, I think the challenge is going to be on short rest to go to Green Bay and get the W. So I see 2-2 after.
Doc, this is the last question
I see
from us as a
loss.
collective. Who's the player that needs to step up for the Lions this Sunday? Or will? You can answer either question. Who will step up or who needs to step up? I think they're the same question, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the number one guy that's got to step it up, Aiden Hutchinson. I think that if he can get in there early, get that early sack, be that impactful force, I think the crowd will be into it. I do think that the defense will feed off of him. He's that defensive captain, and he needs to make impactful plays. The pressures are great, but at the same time, when you deeply watch the All-22 film, the Seahawks started to do the things in their blocking scheme that was problematic for Hutchinson at Michigan, making Aiden over-pursue. So he's got to work through that. He's got to maintain his containment. He's got to maintain the edge. And once he gets comfortable in this game, I see him making an impact. I could see a 2 to 3 sack game from Aiden Hutchinson this week.
The great John Doc Macaroon. You can follow him on Twitter at Detroit Podcast, publisher of AllLionsSI.com. Doc, thanks so much, my friend, for joining us here on Woodward Sports on a Football Friday. Thanks so much, bud.
Thanks, Doc.
Absolutely. Enjoy the show. Let's go. Lions got to get a W this week.
Lions, baby. No doubt about it. All right, guys. Hey, let me tell you about the Lions Insider Show. You can catch them Sunday mornings from 8 to 9. Start your Sunday with us. Start your football Sunday with us. 8 to 9, Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and the legend Terry Foster get you the latest news, inside information regarding your Detroit Lions. Woodward Sports Lions Insider Show. Woodward in Maine, Tuesdays 7 to 8, Sundays 8 to 9. Watch them here on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. We are going to take a break. It is a Fill in the Blank Friday. When we come back, got some great questions for you. I came up with them today.
Fill in the blank.
Curious about how you feel about the Fill in the Blank Friday. But first, a message from SMA.
You know it. It's the sports marketing agency to help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast, This is the S Word, helps to fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head over to thesportssma.com.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey guys, how would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Of course you do. Want to take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps? It's the Cintron Energy Drink It and Live It contest. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. Buy Cintron at all your local Meijer stores. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with the great taste. It's drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Oh, and we want to thank Sean Dabish and everybody here at Dispo for having us out. The partnership with Woodward Sports Network and Dispo, second to none. We love our friends here at Dispo. We are broadcasting to you live from the Dispo location in Romeo. Last week in Whitmore Lake, this week in Romeo. The mall here is unlike anything you will ever see. Pretty darn cool. Fun on a Friday, too. Maybe, people get paid on Friday. Come to Dispo,
hey, man,
have a little fun on the weekend.
Like Johnny Kim said, man, just got paid, baby. It's Friday night.
Hey, they missed out last Monday. They missed out because the Lions did not win, right?
Oh, that's right.
Weren't they going to give away?
They had the package.
They were going to give away free stuff, man.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Free flour.
Yeah, free flour or whatever you wanted, actually.
Yeah, I see you learn.
You got to get the flour, man.
And it was a pre-roll.
Got to get the flour. Free pre-roll flour.
Hey, before we got in here, I caught the ladies of Dispo.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Trying to take over our stage.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, why don't we show that video?
We're always
we got
recording.
video? Okay.
We're trying to get some new talent here.
And we're always hiring.
Here they are. It's Carrington Gooden and Lizzie
hiring.
Brown from Dispo here.
Yes.
And the girls are here, and they're a much better look than we are, I got to say.
Well, certainly you, for sure.
Well, for sure.
Hey,
for sure. Especially when they show the shrunken head view of me.
Why you do masks like that, man?
Because look at the view they give on me.
He busted his balls,
I look like a shrunken head. I mean, I'm bad enough looking.
So now you got me thinking about
what movie was that? Was
that Beetlejuice? The shrunken head?
I have a shrunken head. As long as we get this TV in, I guess that's all that matters. It don't matter what the hell I look like.
Dispo Romeo, baby. Open to it. I love that open to midnight. It has a Taco Bell type feel to it.
Yeah, no doubt about it, guys. Hey, before I get to fill in the blank Friday, did you see what the A's gave to Miguel Cabrera?
Oh, it's great.
Bottle, like a $70 bottle of Camus.
Oh, I love Camus.
I mean, it's great. I understand why. Can you give him a case?
Yeah.
I love Camus, too.
That's true.
I love Camus, too.
But hold on,
the Dodgers gave him a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Hold on.
Poor A's.
But hold on. You also have to take into consideration, this is the A's we're talking about. This is the same place.
They couldn't give him a case of Camus.
Their seats are falling apart. The stadium's crashing.
Couldn't they have at least caught the possum that's up in the media room and give it to him?
And that's what I'm saying, Brian. The fact that these guys have a possum in their stadium and refuse to fix the stadium because it's closed, I'm surprised they got him anything.
Listen, here's the thing I read about it. I don't think he drinks anymore. Am I correct?
Oh, I
don't think he drinks.
Oh, my God. I didn't even think about that.
I don't think he drinks anymore.
I didn't even consider that.
Now it's a horrible
But
game.
Mark Kotze and the A's, thank you for that bottle of wine for Miggy.
I did not even consider that.
He doesn't drink.
Did you kill Bill Walsh?
Wow. Hey, guys, it's a fill in the blank Friday. I'm going to give you one. We'll give you a little teaser. We'll go around the room. We'll do one fill in the blank. I'll take a break. And then we will come back with a full slate of fill-in-the-blank Fridays. Okay. Maz, you kind of alluded to this one. How many points do you think the Falcons are going to score?
Yeah.
I ask it a different way. The Lions need to score blank points to beat the Falcons. The Lions need to score blank points to beat the Falcons. Bray?
26. I believe 26. I think 26 is the number. I don't think they have to quite get to 30. 26 is they're going to ground and pound, and I haven't seen enough out of Drake London or or Kyle Pitts to be nervous. 26 is the number.
Well, the Falcons kick a lot of field goals. Who's a great kicker? They can't get to 30, I don't think. 30 is my number. We get to 30, Lions walk away with the W.
And again, the Lions and Broncos, the only teams to score 30 last week and not win.
Yep.
So that's interesting. I'm going to go with 25, Braylon. And the reason I go 25 is because I think they hold Atlanta to 24.
Okay.
They hold Atlanta to 24. So I think they just need to score 25. That is my number. I think they get to 30-something. I think this is a really good offensive team, and
missing Montgomery hurts.
Missing Montgomery hurts, but somebody else got to step up. Maybe we'll love Zonovan Knight.
I hope Bam Knight can do it.
Oh, Bam. Zonovan Knight, no doubt about it, guys. Hey, let me tell you about the Lions pregame show. Lions pregame show is back and better than ever. Jeff Iafrate and special guest hosts each week will take you up until game time, 9:30 to 11:30. It's the Lions pregame show right here on WSN's YouTube channel, hosted again by Jeff Iafrate. Look how good-looking Jeff is. Are you kidding me? I used to be that good-looking. My goodness. Watch weekly, 9:30 to 11:30, right here on WSN's YouTube channel. Guys, we are going to take a break. When we come back, a full slate of fill-in-the-blank Friday questions. Lions, NFL, Michigan State. Big games in college football as well. Lots to get to on a Football Friday. And our pick segment as well. Braylon's Red Hot. We'll have that for you coming up next. But first, a message from Glorious.
We won't have the drop, JB.
Glorious
Not today.
doesn't
We're on
travel.
the road.
Glorious doesn't travel.
We don't have that, but it's all good. Just in time of football, Glorious Cannabis brings you the Honolulu Blue. And, yes, it is rubbed in bubble hash, and it was very good. I had some. It's very smooth. Very smooth. Yo, it's good. Glorious Canna is how you get that. Go to gloriouscanna, CANNA.com, and it's also sold at every dispensary, including Dispo.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then, she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Hey, everybody, let me tell you about Outdoor Equipment Company, official equipment provider of Woodward Sports, Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, SnowX plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. Buy it, rent it, 0% financing. They deliver to your doorstep as well. OutdoorEquipCo.com, OutdoorEquipCo.com, your power equipment playground. Welcome back in. We are live at Dispo in Romeo, hour number 2 of the program. Having a lot of fun here. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We got JB and Parker as well. Heavyweights coming up at 5 o'clock. And then, of course, Booner and Broder, Woodward Nights at 8. Having a little fun today, Bray?
I am. I'm just in a dancing mood, man. I think it's, when you feel, and this is a good question for Tom, Mazaway, that is. You know, like the summer's ending, man, and it's the last of the good fall days where you're still getting up to about upwards of 80 degrees, 78, 90
That
degrees.
ain't fall to me.
No,
Well,
that ain't me either.
Well, what I'm saying is, when you're getting to the last nice days like that because fall is coming. I think we're in these last of these kind of days. So
This is it.
So I got the energy. I'm feeling it. 78, 89 degrees or 80 degrees.
Officially, Maz, the last day of summer today.
Is this true?
I
Now,
thought
do you
so.
still have the pool up?
The pool is closed.
Oh, okay. When did you close the pool?
I closed it. My brother-in-law came over on Monday, and we closed. I'd say 80% of it is closed.
What's the other 20%?
Got to take all the tubes and stuff off. So we emptied it, treated it, and covered it. It is covered.
So when do you find time to do that in football season?
You just gotta dig. You gotta dig deep. You gotta find those weekdays. You gotta find those weekday nights when you get home and the sun's going down. You gotta get it. You gotta get all the crap done after work and before it gets dark during the week.
You got to find that day off, kind of like you. What is that? You take a day off for, is it Christmas decorations?
I take a day off for different things to just
it's like Christmas
get
decorations.
it done. Whether it's Christmas decorations, whether it's going to the cider, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
You just got to take a day off in order to get stuff done.
Cider Mill is a Sunday day. Like Sunday's perfect. Like Cider Mill Sundays are perfect.
Yeah, I can't give up my Sundays on the NFL.
Last time I checked, NFL starts at 1. Cider Mill can be 11 o'clock, bro. What are you guys talking
Takes
about?
an hour to get there, an hour back.
That's true. Oh, that's true.
Hey, Maz, how'd you bowl last night? Did you get any turkeys?
I got one turkey only.
One
all
turkey?
night.
Any 4-baggers?
One 4-bagger.
Really?
But not a great night, but improving. I'm getting my stroke going.
It sounds like a high of 218.
I'm getting my stroke going. We did win our first games of the year last night. We've been
That sounds
bad.
like about a high of 218.
Oh, man.
218. 209 only.
209. I can just listen. I'm like, all right, 4. Only had a 4 probably.
209. And you know what mystery was? 210.
Ooh.
I missed out one pin, about $1,400.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Now, did anybody hit it for $1,400?
Yes.
Now, what happens when you win that $1,400? You got to give a cut to the
tip.
You better have a
How
gun
much
on
do you tip? What's a good
$1,400, I would have given probably 50. I'd probably give him $150.
Really?
Yeah.
So like 10%?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee, nice. You give them $150 to
Braylon's
split.
peeling off a 20.
Yeah, 100% I am. Like I threw that score.
No, you got to take care of your boys.
No, I know, but you said $150 to split between the 3?
Well, no.
Or $150 each?
No, $150 to the guy that runs the pot.
Oh, okay. Oh,
The guy that runs the pot. Our team, we're all on our own when it comes to winning the money.
See, I told you. That's what I thought it was
Why
talking
wouldn't you
about.
want to be the guy that runs the pot then? You're winning either
You do.
way.
It's the same guys all the time, and they do make a lot of money running the pots.
They double dip, too.
Yes, of course they do. And strike ball is $1,000 each time. They
These
make
guys- hey, Ryan.
they make
God.
it.
Ryan, the guys that run the pot,
Damn.
they're like the crookedest looking people ever on earth. I'm just
Oh,
telling
man.
you. I'm telling you.
I hate to
like,
say
you don't,
that.
You don't even want to give them the money. You're like, damn it, is it
Yeah.
still Larry?
How much did you take out of
That
this?
guy's got so much cash. He's hiding it all from the IRS.
There's some nights that we're shooting for 14 grand. 14 grand in strike ball pots.
What?
Yeah.
Man, what type of
in
illegal?
St. Clair Shores?
Yeah.
This is a, hold on. You might be on this.
Yeah.
This might be illegal. This is. I'm gonna just shut up. I don't want to get smoked.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I got to get into
we're in the wrong
bowling.
business.
I don't even. It is a business. No wonder Larry Foot's always making
The
money.
foot
Always going to the
doctor, I call
bowling
him.
alley.
Man, see,
Oh,
see,
my
now
God.
You know what
I'm
the foot
starting to
doctor
get
does?
no,
Larry
see,
Foot.
The foot doctor is cold. See, I know
Hey.
now I'm starting to realize it's cold.
We play poker, so every
See?
every time you get a
So
strike,
does the
you get a
mob.
card. If you get a double, you get 2 cards.
My place poker.
And you're only
too.
supposed to have 5 cards at once. We've caught Larry with 9 cards.
Hey man, so when you tell black people to cheat, we cheat. Ain't that about something? So the
Hey,
black guy gotta cheat.
Maz, let's do fill in the blank
You
Friday.
got
We
it.
already
Brothers
gave you
gotta cheat.
the answer to question number 1. Lions need
Here we
blank
go.
points to
I mean,
score.
Foot
Braylon
did go to
26, I'm 25, and you're Maz 30.
30. All right, here we go. Question
30.
number 2, guys. The offensive player who will break out this week against Atlanta is blank. Ryan.
I'm going to go Gibbs. I think he's going to take it as a personal challenge against Bijan Robinson to prove exactly why he was the first running back taken. Lions had an opportunity to take Bijan at 6. They traded back and still got and still got Gibbs when they wanted him. So I'm going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs.
If we're being honest, he's the only right answer for this question. I really won't accept another answer, but let's act like he's gone because he is. I'm going to go Khalif Raymond. I'm going to go Khalif Raymond. I haven't seen Marvin Jones Sr. this week. I haven't seen Marvin Jones Sr. I don't think they're going to throw it to him this week. Without Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's already broke out. We know what he is. I believe it's Khalif Raymond. I think they get him more and more involved. And I know he had the big trick play last week, but I think he'll have more. You'll see him have something to the tune of 6 to 7 catches for around 90 yards, a lot of yards after catch.
I told you my guy, you know who it is. It's Sam Laporta, the tight end. He breaks out again, over 100 yards this time for the first time in his young career. Aiden Hutchinson will have blank sacks on Sunday, Braylon.
1.5.
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5 too. 1.5. I don't think he'll quite have 2 sacks. I can't see him dominating like that. But look, he knows he needs a sack. And regardless of what you tell me about leading the lead and quarterback pressures, it's still an empty stat until you get a sack. I think he knows he needs a sack. I think he gets one, and I think he teams up with Isaiah Buggs for the other one.
God, I love Buggs, and he will, by the way, be active this week. First game, he'll be active this season, so we can talk about him if you want. But Aiden Hutchinson, I, too, have 1.5 sacks because I think he does take this now as a personal challenge. He understands he was the number 2 overall pick in the draft. He understands he's one of the most talented players, if not the most talented player on that defensive line, the anchor of that defensive line. He's got to get to the quarterback. I don't subscribe to your theory that I don't want to minimize quarterback pressures, but quarterback pressures mean something if you can also get to the quarterback. You got to get to the quarterback for that pressure to mean a little bit more, but I'm going 1.5.
I will say this. I do want to add a little bit. And I agree actually with Doc what he said, though. Need an interior presence to help out Aiden. If you look at some of the best defensive ends in the league, they got that interior presence, whether it's Nick, he has Hargraves.
Look at the Niners last night.
And that's what I was going to say. Nick, he has Hargraves now. You look at Hassan Reddick, he has Carter or Davis. You look at T.J. Watt, he has Cameron Hayward. You got to have that inside guy. But going back to Aiden Hutchinson, you know why else he's going to take it personal, in the words of Deion? Who had a sack last night on primetime TV? Kayvon Thibodeau had one.
Oh, he don't care about him no more.
It doesn't matter, but what did you just tell me the other day? Who's always going to be linked together?
Yeah.
Trayvon Walker, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Aiden Hutchinson. Well, Kayvon Thibodeau had a sack on national TV.
There you go.
I'm going to play prices right with you guys. I'm going to overbid you by 1/2. I'll say 2 sacks for Aiden Hutchinson on Sunday. Here we go. There's 7 games on Sunday where the point spread is 6 points or more. Blank of those games will be upsets.
You want me to run the games down for you?
Sure.
Okay. Baltimore -8 versus Indy. Forget about the point spreads. All of these are -6 or more.
Correct.
Got you.
Baltimore over Indy, Miami over Denver, Buffalo over Washington, Jacksonville over Houston, Seattle over Carolina, Dallas over Arizona, Kansas City over Chicago. So the question, again,
I'll answer it. The question is, how many of those games will the underdog win that game? And I'm going to say 1. I'm going to say 1.
Which one?
Read the top 3 again to me.
Baltimore, Indy.
No.
Miami, Denver.
Maybe.
Buffalo, Washington.
I love Denver this weekend for some reason. I think Denver could be an upset this weekend.
I'm going to say 0.
Thank you.
Look, I'm trying to find one. But so far this league has been chalk. Through 2 weeks, and I don't consider the Lions over Kansas City.
I got one for you.
Week 1, there were upsets. Home teams lost.
Like who?
There was like 5 home teams that lost.
Yeah,
6.
I know home teams, but who did you expect? Did you expect the Giants to beat Dallas? I mean, I'm just talking about a home team that lost.
Okay, but if I go through week 1 again, I could pick them out to you.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
I believe the Washington Commanders are going to beat Buffalo.
That's one I looked at, too.
And did you see the weather for that week? Windy, rainy, not necessarily a Josh Allen 3-15 type game. Run the ball a little bit more, put the ball on the carpet a little bit more. They're the number 1 defense in the league as it relates to sacking the quarterback and quarterback hits. Don't take that lightly. I think I go with 1. Buffalo, Washington.
Okay. I'm trying to find one for you, but
read them again.
Baltimore, Indy.
No.
Miami, Denver.
Maybe.
Buffalo at Washington.
No.
Jacksonville, Houston.
No.
Seattle at home against Carolina with a backup quarterback. Dallas at Arizona, and Kansas City against Chicago.
Would you like to hear something interesting about Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos?
Please.
Or just Russell? So if you look at stats, and that's why stats matter. Like, stats matter in context. Now, I stole this from Colin. This is not my own doing. Stole this from Colin. Stats matter in context. If you look at Russell Wilson, every statistical category from Seattle to Denver, he is higher in every statistical category with the Denver Broncos. Less interception ratio, touchdown ratio, 300-yard games, average yards per throw. Like, everything is higher in Denver. You're like, damn. So
not the record.
So where the loss is? It's the fourth quarter. He used to be a 108 quarterback ratio in the fourth quarter. His stats are dumb in the fourth quarter with Seattle. His stats, he's like 62%. Like, his stats are horrible in the fourth quarter what he does. So it's always contextual stats. Always contextual stats.
I just look at points, too. I mean, points scored. That's the stat I look at on offense. Last year they lost 8 games because they couldn't score 20 points.
This is true, too.
You know, I mean.
Mark my words, Denver's keeping that game close.
I don't disagree with you. I think Russell Wilson's playing for his job this week.
Yep.
So, that's
I got one.
is.
I just said one.
Yeah.
We got time to keep going? Or you
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, we're going to bring it to the college game.
Do one more, and then we'll take a break.
We're bringing it to Michigan. The first 3 games of the season, we know Michigan has not scored 35 points or more. So they will
scored 35 in the first game. They have not scored more than 35.
They will score blank against Rutgers on Saturday.
All right, want me to go first?
Sure.
57. 57. I think this is a statement game for Jim Harbaugh, and I think this is one of those things where, sometimes you do pay attention to what people are talking about. Sometimes you do pay attention to the product that you put out there, and regardless of what people say, you can get bored all you want to. The product that they put out last week against Bowling Green State was not a product that you want to represent you if you're supposed to be the number 2 team in the country. I think he comes back with a bang. I think it's 57 yards. And also, they want to get J.J. McCarthy back on the right track. You throw the ball, you score touchdowns. I think 57 points.
I'm going to go 35. I'm going to go 35 because I think Rutgers, for whatever reason, always plays Michigan hard.
Yep.
Rutgers had the lead last year against Michigan at halftime. Year before, Michigan had to have a late turnover, I believe, to beat them.
They had to pull it off.
Don't say they always play Rutgers. Keep in mind, they did put 75 and 77 on the same Rutgers team. So
the Greg Schiano-led team.
Okay.
That's what I'll say. Greg Schiano.
There you go.
That's what I'm kind of going back to.
I'm just speaking for the guys.
Yeah. 35.
I'm going to go 35 because I think Greg Schiano plays these guys tough. But I agree with everything you said about Jim Harbaugh. I think it might be like 35-3 or 35-7 or something like that. Yeah. But I don't know. I think they just play them tough.
I'll say 41-10. 41-10. I'm going to say they score 41 this week, and they finally cover a point spread, which is, I think, 24.
I didn't even see it, to be honest with you.
I think it's 24.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more of Fill in the Blank Friday. We'll get into Michigan State's game with Maryland, Colorado, Oregon, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. Lots more to get to here. But first, a message from Swiss. Do you have football on the brain? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today. Find them at SwissINS.com. SwissINS.com.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Downtown nowadays is 5 Iron Golf at the Cambria Hotel, located downtown Detroit. 13 brand new TrackMan simulators. You can play any course around the country. It's dope. And on Thursdays, we do the 5 Iron Golf / Woodward Sports Golf League 527. Come hang out, practice, play. Instructors on deck. Get your golf swing down if you want to. If you don't want to be great, you don't have to be. Just come drink, eat, have fun, be merry. 5 Iron Golf, Cambria Hotel, downtown Detroit.
All right, Tom Mazaway, broadcasting to you live from Dispo here. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway, JB, and Parker with us as well. Dispo in Romeo. This is where we are broadcasting from today. Tom Mazaway. Let's finish up.
Take us away.
Fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank. MSU's defense has allowed Tulia Tungavailoa to throw for 664 yards in their previous 2 games. He will throw for blank yards on Saturday against them.
385 yards.
385 you're going for. What did Penix throw for last week?
473 yards. Nearly 500 yards.
They couldn't even get near him last week.
Remember I was telling you about that, like Michael Penix, watch how smooth that left-hand quarterback is. One of the big things about him, too, that people don't realize, one, he's on year 5. He's another one, he's quarterbacks like Sam Hartman at Notre Dame. Year
7, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's on year 7. But he's been in the same offensive system because this is the same offense that he ran at Indiana. So he's been in this offense or a version of this offense for 4 years now. You're talking about a guy playing offense for 4 years, man. It's tough, and that's what he is.
I'm going 400 just because of the 473. Basically giving him 100 yards less than Michael Penix. MSU's bad. They're going with the MAC, the Michigan Agricultural College.
I saw that.
Helmets which look pretty sweet.
They got great
Look,
unis.
I'm rooting for Harlan Barnett. I am. I don't want the guy to be like a Bobby Williams where you come in, you take crap from Nick Saban leaving you, and then all of a sudden you get your teeth kicked in, week out, and then you have to wear that tag.
Wasn't Bobby good in the beginning?
No.
He was
Michigan
bad
smoked
from day
them,
one?
yeah, pretty much.
I believe karma's a bitch, and Michigan State is getting what they deserve. So,
I'll split that 664. I'll say 332. I'm going to say he hits his average of 332 yards. That's what I'm going with.
All right.
All right. Here's one for you guys. This is the last of the day. The game that will get bigger ratings this weekend.
This is a great question. Listen.
This is a great.
I want recognition for this question.
Yes, you got it.
Because I was looking for one that could give us and provide us worthy of some discussion points here.
Agreed.
Can I get credit for this?
You get credit for all of these.
Thank you. But this one specifically.
Okay. Ryan Ermanni gets credit.
Thank you.
Specifically.
Thank you.
For this one. Which game gets the bigger rating? Is it number 19, Colorado, at number 10, Oregon? That's a 3:30 kick on ABC. Or is it number 6, Ohio State, at number 9, Notre Dame, 7:30 primetime on NBC? Who gets the bigger rating? Ryan, it's your question.
Nah, but he should go last.
Okay.
You and I should answer. Ryan should go last.
Okay,
Thank you.
For sure. No, 100%. We'll give you respect.
You want me to go first?
Please.
Colorado, because they're the most watched team in America. No one gives a damn anymore about Ohio State against Notre Dame when it got Colorado getting 21 points. Deion Sanders and his guys going up to Oregon. And I think Colorado, even though Vegas wants you to take the 21 points, they desperately want you to take. Most of the tickets is on Colorado plus 650 on a money line. Plus 650. People are betting them straight up. They're going to have 10 million viewers.
Well,
on this game.
that's what happened in week 1 against Kansas State.
Yes.
Vegas took a bath on Colorado in week 1.
They're trying to get even.
Took a bath.
They're trying to get even this week. Colorado and Oregon, biggest game of the weekend.
You know what? I'll disagree. I say it's going to be Ohio State and Notre Dame, and this is why. I say because Colorado, Oregon is at 3:30. I think that affects that crowd. I think, too. Also, I think this game is going to be over with fast. I think people tune out. I think the game will over with fast. I think people tune out. I think that Ohio State Notre Dame game, but when it's all said and done, it'll be a damn good game that I think Notre Dame is going to win late. Sam Hartman, you talk about a guy playing in college for 85 years. I mean, he has 13,000 passing yards at Wake Forest. And, oh, by the way, now he plays at Notre Dame. I think that game's going to come down to it at the end, and I think it'll draw more people in because I think that Oregon game will be over with soon.
So I'll disagree with you on the time of the game. I will fully agree with you on the second part of that because if you'll remember last week, it was a 10 o'clock start.
Correct.
And at 1 a.m., the number to watch Colorado at 1 a.m. went up and was still the highest rated college football game.
Vegas.
Right.
It's the same time in Vegas. It's 7 o'clock.
So I don't think the time.
10 o'clock.
I don't think the time. Colorado could play at 9 a.m. and people are going to want to watch them. But I will just say this isn't Notre Dame versus Indiana.
Yeah.
This is Notre Dame versus Ohio State here. You are talking about two of the largest alumni bases, fan bases in college football history.
Two of the most storied programs. Arguably one.
They are the blue bloods of the blue bloods. Take the group of blue bloods, and then they are an elite group within that. When you put two of those titans together, I think that will be more rated. If Colorado can somehow stay close with Oregon, I think they can get close.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Something tells me that Vegas knows something here.
Yeah,
21 is a huge number.
This is the only thing I will say, though, in terms of that. And I still agree. It'll be Ohio State, Notre Dame. But this is where I'm interested in watching this game. Shedeur Sanders, by many, has become the number 2 quarterback in college.
Number 1.
Exactly. No, Caleb Williams still number 1. But by many people, he's become number 2, or he's been in the conversation of number 3. He's been right there.
Deion says he's better than Caleb.
And guess what? Deion's his father, so I'm not listening. He is a great college quarterback through 3 games. I mean, he went 98 yards. He went 98 yards in the clutch to win that game. What did he do against TCU? He did more of the same. He is an elite fourth-quarter quarterback. His numbers in the fourth quarter are ridiculous right now. If he's that good, and everybody's talking about him in that big a light, I can't see how you can put 21 points against him. I'm just being honest. If he's that good, if he's been that good so far, which he has, if everyone's saying he's now number 2, or he can challenge number 1, you can't have a quarterback that damn good in college and he be unfavored by 21 points.
Right.
That's the only problem I have with that 21-point line, and I would challenge that. For as good as Shedeur Sanders, all right, flip the coin, Maz. If Caleb Williams was ever not favored by 21, or what's the opposite, or they were giving him 21,
they'd be underdogs.
Would Caleb Williams ever be a 21-point underdog, no matter who was missing?
No.
Would Drake May, who is not playing that good, by the way, would he be a 21-point underdog?
Probably not.
Will Michael Penix be a 21-point underdog?
Probably not.
And that's my question. If he's that good at quarterback, then maybe that 21 points is fishy.
Well, Travis Hunter's hurt.
Understood. But with that being said, they still got J.C. Horn, who scored most of their touchdowns. They still got Weaver, number 5. He's got some weapons without Travis Hunter. It's not like he had one weapon. He's got 2 guys that are over 400 yards after 3 games.
Remember a few weeks ago, the Oregon coach stepped out and said, they asked him about Colorado leaving the Big 12, blah, blah, blah. He's like, what have they ever done for the Big 12?
Give them the highest ratings ever?
Just saying.
Hey, did you hear what Joel Klatt said about Deion, too?
No.
Not leaving?
Yeah, he said he doesn't know if he'll leave Colorado because everybody's going to want Deion now, but he will never coach in the NFL.
Hey, we talked about that.
He said he will never coach in the NFL, and one of the reasons why is he is so entrenched in his faith. He sees it almost as like his calling to be a father figure for so many of these young men.
Good for him.
You got to start listening because I just said that same thing.
I know we all did, but I'm just saying. But we don't have access to Deion.
Right.
We don't have access to him. So basically, after a conversation with him, thought that was confirmation of what we already believed, but still, nonetheless,
they're going to come for him, though.
Yeah.
They're going to come for him.
Yeah. I mean,
The NFL throws some money around. He just might change his mind.
You know who might throw money at him if it doesn't work out?
Jerry Jones.
Yep. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, it is our pick segment. Really looking forward to this. We got some now. Look, I've got some thoughts on the pick segment. I'm going to have a good week this week. I'm just going to let you know that right now. I'm going to have a really good week this week.
So am I.
But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Sean Jordan from the Sports Marketing Agency. And SMA wouldn't be who we are without our amazing partners.
Thank you so much, Sean. You know, at Detroit Wayne, we want to serve as a resource for you and your families. We offer mental health services, substance use disorder services throughout our communities, and we want to be that source and resource within the community.
If you or a loved one are suffering from a mental health or substance abuse issue, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-241-4949.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Hey, gang, join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live this Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market in Shed 5, and it's going to be a bash. Starting at 9:30 until game time, the official Lions tailgate is back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame it with Woodward Sports and be treated like a VIP? Food, beverages, entertainment, all included. Get your tickets online today, bullseyeeventgroup.com, bullseyeeventgroup.com, or Woodward Sports YouTube. You can follow us on IG, direct message, Lions VIP. It's a pretty damn good party, too, let me tell you. Bullseye Event Group puts on a show.
You know, I got something about the Lions, and I know it's Friday, so I don't know when I'll get a chance to say this for the rest of the show, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. Is that cool, Ryan?
Please.
Is that decent? Is that all right, Tom? By you, Tom?
I'm all in.
This is what I have to say for the Detroit Lions. You guys got to win this game. You guys got to go in there. You got to play your game, physicality. You got to win this game. Because you know what I've noticed, Ryan and Maz? Remember before the season started, there was a lot of people around the country talking about the Detroit Lions. Oh, they were on ESPN. They were on Fox. They were on the West Coast. They were down south. They were everywhere. They were talking about the Lions, how good they were going to be. Then the Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. And then what happened? Oh, Lord. The Lions are here. They've arrived. Everything they said is true. They will win that division. They may have a chance at the NFC Championship. Then they lost to the Seattle Seahawks. I haven't heard one thing about the Detroit Lions all week. I haven't seen them on any sports show. I haven't seen them on anybody's to-do list, trending list. I even haven't heard Peter Schrager talk about them. And that's supposed to be their guy on Good Morning Football. You hear that, Lions? They ain't talking about you no more. Just like that, they forgot about you. That's why you got to win this game. It's not for them, it's for you. But you see how fast all that doesn't matter? Never worry about them. Only worry about that locker room in Allen Park. Go get that W and get back on track because it ends just like that.
No doubt. Hey, guys, let me say this. We are less than 100 subscribers away from 50,000 on this platform.
Damn.
How cool is that?
Damn.
Unbelievable. Hopefully we'll get there by the end of the night.
Yeah.
Through the two shows, grab that share tab on YouTube, share it to your social media, Tell a friend about Woodward Sports. Ask them to subscribe. We believe we have the best football content out of anybody that talks Detroit Lions or NFL locally here in the Detroit market. So thanks to everybody out there, all 50,000 subscribers. We are just shy of that mark. So tell a friend about Woodward Sports. Like the show today as well. It helps YouTube push our content out to more people. So we appreciate that. Tom Mazaway, it is time for the pick segment. All right, guys, I'll give you the standing so far. Our leader right now is Braylon Edwards.
You didn't even want to say it. Didn't even want to say it.
7-7. That's our leader. And Ryan and I are.
That's a famous drink in Jersey.
We're
right?
a game back right now at 6-8 apiece. So last week, not a great week. Week prior to that, not bad. We're going to get you back. We're going to get you ahead this week. And we start off with the New England Patriots traveling to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Jets and Zach Wilson. The Jets have lost 14 in a row to New England, and they're a home underdog, getting 2.5 points. Ryan, lead us off.
I just want to go on record today and say I will drop no more than 2 games here of the 7.
Good luck.
Okay, minimum 5 in 2 weeks.
All right.
Minimum 5 in 2 weeks.
Good luck.
I just want to go on record.
We'll all take a chance at picking first here. So you pick first here.
Minimum 5. I'm going to go with the Pats. Okay. Pats are going to win this game by more than a field goal. More than a field goal. I'm going with New England.
Taking the Pats as well. I don't want to. I'm a Jet. I don't want to, and I want to find a way for it to make sense that Zach Wilson will somehow learn how to hit the check down, not try to take the big play, make the smart play. Somehow Nathaniel Hackett will learn how to run the ball with Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. But you know what? I got to trust what I've seen in the past, and the past tells me the Jets are going to blub it up on offense. So.
New England's not going 0-3, and I think they're going to win by more than a field goal.
I got to go with you guys. I hate it, but give me the Patriots. 15 straight wins.
You had to cough to say it.
I did. I can't.
Couldn't get out right.
That's a killer. All right, game number 2. The loser of this game will be 0-3. It's the Chargers in Minneapolis against the Vikings. Vikings are favorite by 1.5 points. Braylon, you're first.
It smells fishy. I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Chargers, and the reason being they have no turnovers yet. It is not the offense's fault that they are losing games. 389 yards of total offensive game. Justin Herbert has been lights out under Kellen Moore. It ain't their fault. They're figured out. Meanwhile, Minnesota gives up the most turnovers per game so far. Los Angeles Chargers.
You guys know how I feel about the Vikings. I think they're better than whenever a lot of people think they are. They've lost 2 games by less than a touchdown. They've done it again. I think they're going in the tank here. I'm rooting for them to go in the tank so they could trade Kirk Cousins to the Jets. Give me the Chargers to win this game.
All right. I, too, will go with the L.A. Chargers. I think you get 3 points for being the home team.
Yep.
So that means L.A. Chargers are better than Minnesota.
1.5 points.
I'm going L.A. Chargers.
All right. We're all on the same right now. Here we go. This is where it changes. The Saints, 2-0, going into Lambeau Field against the Packers. Pack favored by 1.5 points. I'll go first. It's my turn. Packers by 1.5 points. They're looking forward. The Lions are coming in on Thursday. God, can you see the Saints at 3-0 without Alvin Kamara? I can't. Give me Green Bay.
You want me to go next?
Please.
Man, you're absolutely crazy. It'll be the Saints. The Saints have not allowed more than 20 points dating back to 9 games ago, dating back to last season. They are not giving up any points. Minnesota is giving up the ball the Packers. They kind of showed a little bit about themselves last week against the Falcons. So I'm going to stick with the Saints. Derek Carr, they got 3 really good receivers too, man, that are making plays, including Shahida, the undrafted wide receiver. So
Rashid Salih.
There we go. Give me the Saints.
I, too, will take the New Orleans Saints for the same reason I just took the Chargers. You get 3 points for being at home, so that means that the Saints are a better football team. I still am not a believer in the Packers just yet. I think they played really well against the worst team in the league, the Chicago Bears, and that's why they're getting all this love. I think the Saints are a better team. They'll win the game. They'll win the game at Green Bay.
All right, fellas, here we go. It's the Broncos at the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are looking great. Broncos looking for their first win under Sean Payton. Dolphins, a 6.5 point home favorite. Ryan.
I'm going to take Denver. I do believe this is kind of a referendum game here on Russell Wilson. I'm not a believer in Russell Wilson, but I am a believer in Sean Payton. We're going to find out whether or not they're going to make a quarterback change. If the Broncos lose, I don't think it's by more than a touchdown, so I'm going to go ahead and take the 6.5 with Denver.
I'm taking the Dolphins. They let the Washington Commanders score 35 more points on them. The Dolphins are the most unstoppable offense in the NFL, and the thing they understand more than anybody ever, when you got guys that run 4-2, you keep them in motion. Those guys can't be stopped. I'm going with the Dolphins.
Give me the Broncos. This could be my upset of the week. Give me Denver to definitely cover in this game. Here we go. The Bills are in D.C. against Washington, actually Virginia. Washington favored by – no, that can't be Washington. Washington favored? No. Washington getting 6.5. Let me double-check that spread.
No, it is.
No. It's the Bills minus 6.5.
Right, that's what I meant. So Washington
it's written wrong on the screen.
Right, Washington is getting 6.5. Buffalo is at Washington. Am I correct there?
Yes.
Okay, Washington's a home underdog. Braylon.
Yeah, I break the ice for you guys. It's going to be Washington. I believe in the Washington Commanders because they get to the quarterback. They lead the league in sacks. They lead the league in quarterback hits. Sam Howell has been pretty decent with the football so far, and they got enough weapons. I'm going to stick with the Joe Gibbs, formerly coached Redskins.
Ryan.
I'm going to go with the Commanders. I'm going to go with football team. Again, home dogs to me. I think 72% cover. 72% of the time cover the spread since 2012. I'm going with the home dog. Significant home dog.
I'll make it a sweep. I like home underdogs. Give me Washington plus the 6.5.
Now I want to switch and get the Bills.
You want the Bills? Take the Bills.
No, I'm staying.
Okay.
First line.
2 more teams left. Let me take a break. We'll come back. We'll do those 2. We'll do our survivor pool as well. We'll go around the NFL. That's the rest of the show today. But first, a message from Big Boy.
That's right. Burgers and chicken sandwiches taking over at Big Boy. You know it. It's the best cheeseburger in town. Or you could even try the pretzel bacon cheeseburger. If you're craving that chicken, the Dolly chicken, or Bob's hot chicken sandwiches for you, upgrade those fries to the chili cheese fries, or of course the loaded baked potato fries. Save room for dessert. You know what time it is. The Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake or the funnel cake fries. All that you can order a Big Boy in a shake as well at your local Big Boy.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Academy, you know what time it is. It's the state-of-the-art Sports Dome Fieldhouse. Regulation basketball court and soccer field will also be used for 7-on-7 football. We've been there. You've seen us before. K-8 featuring AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, the Learning Street, the futuristic Media Center, Academy games, and K-8 athletics. All that and more. Now accepting new enrollment. Go to academyofwarren.net. That's academyofwarren.net.
I want to thank Mr. Kearney for all that he does, not only for us at Woodward Sports, but of course those kids at the Academy of Warren.
Mr. Kearney.
Absolutely fantastic job there. What a great facility there, too, down there on 8 Mile.
When you're doing charter schools and you go off the beaten path, you know, you're not getting the same funding as the rest of the city and the rest of the schools, so you're doing your own thing and you're taking a chance on you and the people that you believe in. So each year, when Mr. Kearney does, it gets bigger and bigger. So a lot of love to them, a lot of love over there at Woodward Academy, man.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, Maz, here we go. Let's finish it up, the pick segment.
All right.
Just to recap for you, I've got New England, Chargers, Denver, Washington, and New Orleans.
Yep.
Braylon has New England, Chargers, Miami, Washington, and New Orleans.
Yes.
Maz has New England, Chargers, Denver, Washington, and Green Bay. The three of us agree on New England, Chargers, and Washington.
Yes.
Let's go. We got the nightcap. It is the Steelers and the Raiders. Raiders are getting 2.5 in Vegas. That place is going to be rocking. Steelers coming off that Monday night game where their defense scored more than their offense did. So who do you like here? Raiders are a 2.5-point home favorite. Braylon.
You just answered your own question. The defense scored more than the offense, man. I got to stick with this. The the quarterbacks that are struggling, they all have defensive coaches, and I don't see Mike Tomlin fixing anything on Kenny Pickett anytime soon. So I'm going with the Raiders.
I believe that the Raiders, and I said this a while back, and I know they didn't win last week and they got pounded last week, but I think that the Raiders are alive for an AFC West championship.
Yeah.
An AFC West championship. So I think they win this week.
I'm going to go with the Raiders as well. I hate picking with you guys, but I'm going with the silver and black off the short week for the Steelers. And the only thing that is a little off is the spread. It's only 2.5, and the Raiders are home. Right, you said it. That's an extra half a point.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That takes us to our finale. You know where we're going. Atlanta and the Lions. The Lions are home favorite, but are they really? It's only 3 points. That's exactly what Vegas gives you as a home team. So the game is really a pick 'em, but it is 3 points. I'll go first. I'll take the Lions to cover the 3.
I will never pick against I said it last week. Every single week from here on in, I am taking the Lions. No matter if it's plus 20 or minus 40, I'm going to pick Detroit each and every week.
If you remember, I took Seattle last week, and you guys booed me.
I'm taking Detroit this week, minus the 3.
Ryan, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what being a true fan is all about.
That's it. I'm a true fan.
I'm not a true fan.
Through
I'm
and
taking
through.
the Atlanta Falcons. Listen, I told you.
You lived in Atlanta
Whoa. Don't boo. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You lived in Atlanta now.
For 5 years, too, by the way.
You just pleaded with the Lions. You just pleaded with them.
This
what
way.
Listen.
This way you can always be right.
No.
I told you.
No, this isn't true. I told them what they had to do. Now they got to show me that they're going to do that. I don't think they will. So I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons. I said it yesterday.
All right.
I said I've been drinking the Kool-Aid. I've been going against my better will on some things, and I have picked just the Detroit Lions. I am no longer doing that. Until they show me again, I'm going on the opposite side.
These guys don't have microphones, but just give me a thumbs up. Lions are thumbs up. Atlanta, thumbs down. All right, we got 2 thumbs up for JB.
Kool-Aid.
And, of course,
Kool-Aid.
Parker. The Kool-Aids.
Kool-Aid.
Carrington over there thinks the Lions are going to lose. She says they're only going to score 17.
I agree with her. See, me and her on the same page.
Yeah.
She never bought into the brand new Lions. She stayed as what they were.
She's disappointed. She was there last week, she said.
That's pissed at.
She's still pissed.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all going Lions. All right, now for the survivor pick. Braylon,
It's only 2 people.
Braylon, you do not get a pick.
It's
3 people. Parker's in on it too. Now here's the deal. I am going against my better judgment this week. And what I mean by that is I think anytime you do a survivor pool, and Maz, you've done these for years. I have not. I think you just have to survive in advance.
That's my way.
When you start planning out the weeks and who you're taking, it does get a little dicey. But I started planning out the weeks and just trying to see this thing through. And if you look ahead,
I'm not in it, so stop looking at me. I'm not in it.
All right, well, whatever.
I'm not in it.
I'm trying to talk to the people about this. Trying to talk to the people. If you are in this, the more you go on, you can tell how much harder it gets.
Of course.
So I'm going to try to steal one.
You're still going against your way.
Yes.
Okay.
I initially went with San Francisco. They won last night. I would have been sitting easy peasy, no problem with it. Would have been all good. I changed it to Seattle.
Okay.
So I think there's 3 easy ones this week. San Francisco, Dallas, and Kansas City. Everybody is going to pick one of those 3 teams.
Correct.
Everybody.
Right.
And I am trying to steal one by using Seattle at home.
They should win.
Home opener for them.
Yeah.
Against the backup quarterback in Carolina.
I tried to steal one last week and it didn't work.
Yeah, I know.
It's Andy Dalton.
It
he's not
work.
a
Red Rifle.
He's probably better than Bryce Young at this point.
Perhaps.
So you're sticking with Seattle.
Sticking with Seattle.
Okay, write that down.
Cake.
Parker, what's your pick? Give Parker the Dallas Cowboys.
In Arizona?
Yep.
They play, but that's like too easy. Like I understand.
Who'd you say, Parker?
He said Dallas over
Dallas.
Arizona. That's like too easy. Don't you want to save Dallas?
That's the point. That's what we're trying to say is like just get to the next week.
I'm gonna go. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Give me Kansas City over the Bears.
Right.
I think they're going to win that game. I don't know if they'll cover, but they'll win. I think the Bears will actually cover the 13 points, but Kansas City will win.
You guys have definitely been inhaling the product here.
What do you think? What are you saying?
No, I'm talking what he said. He said that they will cover. I don't think they'll cover.
The only reason I say that is because they're –
what is it, 12.5?
Yeah, they're
That's
America's Game of the Week. Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson are there.
Yeah.
They always play. They're always tight games when it's America's Game of the Week. Always.
And you have challenged the manhood of the Chicago Bears. This isn't just like a regular game. You have challenged their coach's manhood, their quarterback's manhood, the wide receiver's manhood.
Listen to this week that the Bears have had. First of all, you hear Hallis Hall was raided. They say it wasn't. But their defensive coordinator, Allen Robinson, is that his name?
Nah, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Al Robinson?
Sure.
Well, their defensive coordinator was raided, his house. He resigns. Yesterday, put up the tweet. Somebody broke into their place
I saw
and stole $100,000 worth of equipment. Not only that, they drove it off. They went through the fence. They broke into Soldier Field.
What are you doing?
This is the Chicago Bears.
And
are
they playing in Chicago?
I mean,
Kansas City's going to win by 80 now. I'm just letting you know that.
Chicago's got to get a break.
But Kansas City hasn't showed any offense, and people are calling for Andy Reid and freaking Matt Nagy, whoever's the coordinator. They're calling for his head right now. They got to show that their offense can be just as good as when Eric Bieniemy was there. So you're not going to catch any breaks this week against the Chiefs. They're not coming here to let you get one and make yourselves feel good about yourselves.
Isn't that unbelievable?
It is,
You
man.
can't get a worse week.
Did they drive out the front door?
What the hell happened?
So they're either going to lose by 100 or they're going to fight to the
They
death.
might upset
And
them.
lose by 70.
Yeah.
If I get knocked out by picking the Chiefs, I'm at peace with it. I am.
Yeah.
I'm at peace with it.
Hey, Maz, I feel like you should do the Lions postgame read right here.
All right, I'm going to be there on Sunday. I don't know what time I'm going to get there. I'll get there for the postgame because I was invited to the suite. My buddy Anthony Ketchum over at Azaf Ford invited me over to the Ford suite. So I'm going to the game. I'm going to stay as long as I possibly can, and then I'm going to book it to Birmingham. I'm going to be in the studios with Stick and Anson, and the rest of the guys are at the watch party. And we are going to have a great time. It's going to be a great postgame, just like the one against Kansas City. Lions are going to beat up the Atlanta Falcons, or at least they're going to win. We're going to take your phone calls, and we're going to take your chat. We want to break the record for as many people as we can in the chat and on the phone call. So be there this Sunday. We've got the watch party, of course, the pregame show, the watch party, and then the postgame with me, Stick, and Anson on Woodward Sports.
Great stuff there. We're looking forward to that. It's
Did I
going
do
to be
something funny, by the way?
No.
Okay.
I'm just being all goofy over here.
Okay.
I'm over here being shifty.
Just checking.
Braylon's being over shifty-eyed.
Oh,
over
that's
here,
why you
so.
laugh. Okay.
Look at all that flour.
Oh, exactly.
Guys, we will take a break. We will come right back and wrap it up. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has provided Michigan's finest hotels, restaurants, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. All you have to do is head on into the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods, located on Mack Avenue. The place is a sight to behold. Grab-and-go, vacuum-sealed, individually wrapped steaks. You can get 1, you can get 10, you can get as many as you want. And they stay good, too, in the fridge. You do not have to freeze them for some time. My goodness. Go to Fairway Packing today. If you can't make it in person, order online. They ship next day. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. Sourced, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Hey, gang, what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand to offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. Located in Ferndale on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. They have the same great service that customers have come to know from their Dearborn location, where Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac has been standing strong for over 50 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
New roads.
Maz, it doesn't surprise me. I'm gonna tell you like
idiots.
this. I'm gonna tell you like this.
Every game.
I don't want to generalize a certain. Listen, I'll just say the San Francisco 49er fans, they're nuts. I remember playing in the preseason game. It was the San Francisco 49ers versus the Oakland Raiders, then the Oakland Raiders, now the Vegas Raiders. That rivalry, Maz, 3 people shot. This is at a preseason game, Maz. This is 2011. Look it up if you don't believe me. 3 people shot, 1 guy murdered at a preseason game. Those 49ers fans, they don't play about them Niners.
They don't.
That's a fight. I'm showing that because what did we show the other day?
Fights.
We showed all those fights the other day.
Embarrassing.
It's every single game. It's like an epidemic with these freaking people.
It's embarrassing, man.
A lot of it's West Coast, too.
It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Well, the poor Patriot fan who lost his life.
Yeah,
father with his son there at the game.
Did you see that they deemed that a medical episode? That's what he died from?
Right.
Well, he hit his head.
Well, he hit his head and then had a medical episode at the freaking hospital.
Exactly, because he hit his head at the stadium where he's getting his ass whooped.
That's like somebody that's got stage 4 cancer that's in a hospice that's 2 weeks away from dying, gets COVID, and they say she died from COVID. Right. You know what I mean?
He died from that beating.
That was on you.
Well, I was so mad about that.
I see.
I was so mad about that because
misrepresentation.
The freaking guy doesn't have the medical episode
unless that happens.
If he doesn't get freaking dotted twice.
Yeah.
And hit his head against the friggin' concrete.
Come on, man.
You know?
Hey, I concur. You get nothing out of me.
Honestly, you want to take a family to these games, and that's what happens? What's the matter with you people?
Right.
Yeah. Can't you drink and be
drunks?
I don't get it, man.
Drunks do that.
Right.
See, that's what drunks do. Can't you drink and just get tipsy and have a good time?
Can't you?
Drunks do that.
I know a lot of happy drunks.
That's true, too.
You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Very
At the end of the day, everybody love everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, do we have that Justin Fields video, guys?
Oh, Lord.
Justin Fields, a couple days ago, got up in front of the Chicago press. He's been getting the living daylights beat out of him. He kind of took the brunt of it, but at least he stood up for himself. Here's Justin Fields the other day in front of the Chicago media.
Of course, things that I didn't like, I felt like, I wasn't necessarily playing my game. Felt like I was kind of robotic and, not playing like myself. So, my goal this week is just to, say F it and just go out there and, play football how I know how to play football. And that's not, that includes thinking less and just going out there and, playing off of instincts rather than just of, so much, so to say, info in my head, data in my head, and literally just going out there playing football. I mean, just going back to it's a game, and that's it, because that's when, I play my best is when I'm just out there playing free and being myself. So I'm going to say kind of just bump all the, what I should do, what I, this and that, like pocket stuff, like I'm going to go out there and be me. So, yeah.
When you are playing the way, when you're playing like yourself.
Yeah, so my thing about this, look, man, Justin Fields hasn't been the best over his 3 years, but look, at the same time, it's the coordinators, it's the people that he's been with. I mean, when you take a guy who rushes for basically 1,000 yards last season, that was his strength, and then you come here and you tell him he can only stay in the pocket. So now you got him in the first 2 games of the season. He's trying to stay in the pocket. He's trying to stay in the pocket to make the right throw, but it's not his game. He wants to be able to stay in the pocket when he wants to, get out of the pocket when he wants to. You got to help the guy out. You give him the 2 different head coaches, 3 different offensive coordinators. Ryan, this is in 3 years. This is in 3 years. What are we talking about Mac Jones last year and the debacle that he had? Everything isn't on everybody else, but to a certain extent, you got to stand up for yourself because they're going to throw him away and say it's his fault. So I'm glad you stood up for yourself.
Just remember, there's a quarterback, well, you guys won't remember, but Jim Plunkett.
I know Jim Plunkett, number 16 for the Raiders.
Drafted
Stanford.
Drafted out of Stanford, number 1 overall by the New England Patriots. They were horrible. They couldn't protect him. He got creamed. They sent him over to the 49ers. They were just as bad. He's just for nothing. He went to Raiders camp.
Al Davis.
And he makes it as a backup to Dan Pastorini. Dan Pastorini breaks his leg in the first game of the season. Jim Plunkett goes in, and he wins 2 Super Bowls for the Raiders.
And has a Hall of Fame career.
Hall of Fame career from nothing. From 2 crap teams, he goes to the Raiders and makes a career out of it. This kid is not written as he's not done.
Man, that's a hell of an analogy.
He's not done.
That's a hell of an analogy.
And sadly, it's not exclusive to Justin Fields.
Correct.
I mean, I got 100 guys you can name.
David Carr. David
You got
Carr,
100 guys that you can say that about.
Guys that started with the wrong team. Braylon, you started with the wrong team. You got rescued.
Definitely got rescued. And like Ryan Ermanni says, at the end of the day, it sucks, but it's real. It sucks, but there's a lot of guys out there that could have had different situations. I just hope that in this situation that Chicago Bears, I hope that Justin Fields is able to get in a situation that works, whether it's with the Bears now or whether it's somewhere else. I just hope he gets a chance and has an actual chance. I mean, Matt Nagy should not have been the head coach his first year here. Matt Nagy comes in. He doesn't care. He gets fired after a year. Now you bring in another guy, Eberflus. He has no talent last year.
Defensive guy.
It's all defensive guys. And, Ryan, you've been on this since last year. Defensive head coaches, they're struggling in the NFL right now.
Look at what's going on in Buffalo.
Defensive head coaches are struggling. Defensive head coaches. I mean, look at Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the situation to keep an eye on, too, as we get that thing could go south quickly, too. And we'll see. That's one of our games that we picked, too, right? Was that Pittsburgh and Vegas?
I think we all picked the Raiders.
Yeah. All right, guys, that'll do it for us. Want to thank everybody here at Dispo. Heavyweights 5 to 7. Braylon, great stuff. Maz, JB, and Parker.
Guys.
These 2 guys right here deserve so much freaking credit. They make us look good and put on a heck of a production for you all listening out there, wherever you're listening from, wherever you're watching from. So we certainly appreciate that. Go Lions. Lots of programming over the weekend as well. Lions pregame show, Lions postgame show, and, of course, much more on this Friday live from Dispo. Heavyweights coming up at 5.
Don't stop supporting.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.